And also on this show, we're just gonna take you through just day-to-day things, day-to-day conversations, innit?
I'm about
Hopefully we'll
to
be,
put
huh?
this extra bit on my mic.
Listen, man's finessing, innit? Man's finessing the sound right now.
Um,
But yeah, we're just gonna just take you through day-to-day things. Mainly, it's be a lot of music talk. Hopefully, get some guests on the show as we go on. What you saying, bro? How you doing today?
yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
Now that this bad boy's set up as well. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
All
good.
rolling with the same thing. Well, what's it called? What's bit lockdown been saying in that for you? Because I know PT life is obviously.
um, you know what? To be honest, like I'm kind of just. It's been a nice little break.
Mm,
To be honest, like um, I've just taken the time out to do a lot of things that were
pending.
pending, and it's just brought things closer. But um, it's been good to me, man. Like lockdown in general has been good to me.
Yeah, I mean, both personally and for levels. I think it's actually been real good. It's been therapeutic, as to say, because it's kind of forced a lot of people just to pause and
Mm,
like reflect on life and
mm,
like what's going on generally, and yeah, just really contemplate what they want to do going forward. Everything's like not promised, as everybody can see. Like it will take you away. Everything can be taken away just like that.
mm,
So it's just a thing of, as you say, just reflecting. Like I've been real positive. I've been trying to keep real positive throughout the
yeah.
whole thing. But we're both DJs, so something suffering that we both love in the club industry is this guy. And
Yeah, you know what? As you said that, and as you come on to that,
mm,
because I wanted to try and get some clarity.
hmm
Um, so what I did was I decided to go looking and try and see if I could get sort of like any articles that have been written by any journalists, like music
mm,
journalists.
mm,
There, what I came after reading for about an hour,
hmm
what I
you
came
got
up
bored.
with, no, what I came up with, like I wasn't any closer to finding out anything towards the
mm,
end. It just seems like everybody's in the same position.
mm,
Um, you know, promoters are stuck because, and especially if you've promoted some, like you plan stuff for 2020 and you kind of try to shift it and not giving people their money back. I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff going on as well.
yeah, very
Um,
true.
in the hopes of obviously trying to get the the event up and running in 2021.
Mm.
But from what I can see, we're not really going to be getting to that level of events. I'm talking like, you know,
Nah, for a while.
for a while.
For a while.
Um, there was some talk about October next year being, the earliest.
Even I think that's too soon. Simply because of the way everything has been handled. Like the industry that we're both in, the club industry, is just dying a horrible death. They're suffocating it. Like when I they
Yeah,
no, they're
but
fully suffocating
listen,
it.
Dubai's still happening though. Like we
But
need
I
to
mean,
talk about that. Dubai's still
how?
happening though because
How?
Dubai, the way they've set it up, and I saw something on it earlier. The way they've set it up, they're not quarantining. They're saying it's a very safe space. Um, I don't know. They seem to just the country's open, so obviously everybody's heading
We're
there. And
flying out Dubai.
if it was already that kind of spot, I don't know if you've been to Dubai, but it's already that kind of spot. So
Listen, I wish my life was that bougie, bruh. I'm
with,
playing.
I mean, when I went out there,
Yeah.
I didn't do up the bougie. I lived a very normal life, and
Mm.
but I could see people doing up the bougie. Dubai is it's like Vegas on steroids.
Well, yeah. From
If
when
you
you have two superstars coming and fighting each other on planes, isn't it?
and if you get sucked into it, it's crazy, man. Like seriously, it's wild out there. It's nice. I mean, there's a lot. If you're into the luxurious side of life, there's a
Mm.
lot of things to do.
Mm.
Or if you just want to stunt on other human beings, then there's more. So
100%.
it's decent. I kind of just look at it like the people in Dubai, I think the only ones that are left working. There's a lot of DJs out there. They do a lot of
Is it?
brunches. Yeah. They do a ton of brunches and stuff out there. And they obviously Sunday is not recognized as a
That's a
as a
work day.
it's
That's
recognized
a
as a
holiday. That's
no,
a recognized a holiday, isn't it?
no, it's recognized as a working day. So they don't Sunday for
So that sounds
us
real stupid.
being traditionally sort of like Christian Sunday. I'm like,
Mm,
hey, obviously church back in the day, but Sunday is kind of a chill day, family day. Over
mm,
there, you're back to work, so your weekend begins on a Thursday. So
mm.
the brunches start kicking off, and it just starts getting wild.
Midweek.
I remember going to one brunch over there that was
Ooh.
just immense, immense. The brunch was actually really sick. Um, the music a bit questionable, but for what it
Why?
was,
Why is it questionable? Because it's that beach house music.
yeah, it was more of like a there's rich white people in the room kind of music.
Hey, he said it. He said it, guys, not me. He said it.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that comment, and feel free to tell me why there's an issue there, and
No, no, no.
we can talk about it.
There's no issue. It's one of those ones where it's like when it comes to race, innit? Like I have so many conversations
Mm,
with my partner, with people at work,
mhm.
all of this stuff. I mean, it's just there. So sometimes when you say stuff like that, it's just like everybody feels uncomfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable, but it's one of those ones where you never know. Like
Here's the
people,
thing, though. I kind of feel like
you
we
get me?
need to get to a point where we can have these conversations. So
Of course we do.
if you say reggae music, you're going to associate that with Black Caribbean people, right?
Yeah. If you say
So
daga 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 daga,
the kind of music that I was hearing, and I'm not saying that it's only rich white people that listen to this kind of stuff, but it's associated with sort of like the upper classes, which
mm,
is mostly dominated by white folks.
mm.
you
Yeah, I guess so.
know what I'm trying to say? It's more of like a proper logical answer to you know.
I guess
Um,
so. But then, I mean, let's come back to let's come back to that because it's a subject which can be dwelled on for Lord knows how long.
it's a sticky subject, man.
It's a sticky subject, but we want to keep it all the way 100 in it. So we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. But let's the clubs and how they're being shut down. I was talking to a pal of mine,
Mm,
and I reposted on my Instagram about how Egg is like now campaigning for like support and stuff like that. And for me, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, it must be bad
mm,
because egg egg for us, egg and
mm,
fabric, and now Printworks and stuff like that. For
mm,
me, are like three clubs and ministry, sorry, four
mm,
clubs, which I thought were almost untouchable when it
mm.
comes to like coming close down because egg people will come from everywhere and they'll be like, where's good to go? People recommend egg and fabric, top two, easy.
Yeah, if
So
you're
when I'm
going into
hearing,
that house music vibe,
yeah,
if
of course,
you're coming to London, you're looking for that house music scene. Printworks is an amazing venue.
of course,
It's an amazing venue. And obviously we know the history of Fabric. Fabric is
yeah.
one of the dons of this music.
I was
In
gonna
terms
say,
of venues,
oh
like
yeah,
they're like the old
creme
don.
de la creme.
Yeah.
But it's like when those places are looking to be are looking for help financially, you know something's wrong. And
Mm,
he said something that's very true. He said they're looking to do that, suffocate that industry, and turn those kind of places into
real estate.
residential
Right.
spaces. And Egg and King's Cross, that where it is, where it's located, if
Prime
they shut that
location.
down, oh my god, you're what 5 minutes away from the what's it called Eurotunnel
Hmm.
to get to Paris and rest of Europe. That place is prime time real estate.
So you know what, my kind of my look on it is okay, cool. If they remove those venues, obviously there's a lot of history with those
Mm,
venues, and we identify quite closely with those venues because we've been there, we've been a part of the culture.
mm,
We've seen what it is and what it brings to the music community. However, I think it's a because I've always said this when I go to different places in the world and stuff. I travel nightclubs, especially like places like America. They're built to be nightclubs.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I'm still here. My camera just gone nuts again. Gone.
in the UK, we've got like a situation where it's just like, oh, we'll try and turn this very weird, you know, spot into something nightlife that I'm sort of resembling. But
Mm,
this is the opportunity for someone to come along and maybe say, you know what, cool, I'm going to build a proper club, like, or I'm going to use a proper space, like Printwork has.
Yeah,
Printworks, that space is the way they've done the space it feels like a proper club.
but it's quite reminiscent of what they do in Birmingham a lot. In Birmingham,
Mm.
they reconstruct those spaces all over the place
I
to
don't know if
make
you've
brilliant venues.
I don't know if you've been to the warehouse project.
Of course, of
Come on.
course.
So it's like that. We got to start thinking, you know, where we're taking this stuff, man. Like, what's the next situation? Because if you're saying like, what we're looking at is most of these venues, the older venues that a lot of us know and love to go to, a lot of
Mm.
them are just not going to be there anymore.
No, they're
Um,
not. It's just going to be super expensive bars.
so you have to kind of just, okay. So if you're looking at like clubbing and the industry, whether it's house music, hip hop, R&B, and you're trying to do things differently and go forward, I
Mm.
think we've got to look at, you know, looking at some of these older, maybe some of those warehouses,
Mm.
convert them
Yeah.
away from like sort of like those proper public places, like somewhere like a Shoreditch where the residents are bitching like consistently about the violence, the dirt that comes with it, you
But
know.
of course, though, like Shoreditch is where all the people want to go to get seen.
Mm,
I mean, remember how hard I was riding for Camden.
mm,
Remember, like I was so stubborn because I'm just like, okay, Shoreditch is all good, but Camden to me has always had that edge to it. But
mm,
people turned Shoreditch into that place where everybody just like corrals and just packs into, like, you DJ'd there what, week in, week out,
mm,
and so you saw the caliber of people who would come in every single week,
mm.
right? And just flood the thing. Them man are just looking just to get wasted, pam one two girls or whatever they're trying to do. Or
Hey,
if they ain't got a girl, they're looking to just cause violence and just do some nonsense.
so you said
That's what it is.
we need to get back to, you know, some of those events. There's a couple of events that were doing well across town.
Levels.
Levels obviously being one where, you know, the approach to the whole thing was different, and that's what I mean. We need more of that. Like, we need more levels events. We
Mm.
need more sort of like, I mean, doctor's orders is one that I always used to like.
I never actually got to reach one, to be honest.
I like the doctor's order. I think the concept, and even Super Duper, it hits certain people and it works.
Mm.
And it's more about the music and the atmosphere than anything else. Like, you get
Mm-hmm.
a different type of person down there. When you
Mm-hmm.
got like the places like the Shoreditches and the Clapton, you know, Claphams in South London, where it's just walking. People aren't going directly to an event where they know what's going to be there. I think what I'm trying to say is like we need to get to a
Mm.
point where we just have specific spots where it's for the culture, it's for the arts, whether it's like live performances, none of this scrambling trying to get in some small underground basement venue.
Mm. But that's the thing. It's like two things. Does London have that space?
Yeah, there's a ton of space in London.
What to do exactly that?
Yeah, there's a ton of space in London.
Okay,
There's bare
fine.
space in
Even
London.
if we do, then the question always
The,
begs:
the
do
problem
the
always
right
comes down
people run
to
it?
the local council. It always comes down to the local council, man. Like, it's just a lot of these councils don't want to deal with the nightlife stuff because, you know, it's going to
Mm.
attract a level of violence. People seem to just go off on the mud when they've been
Oh,
drinking.
sorry, I just dropped my phone like a madman. Go on.
And then obviously when the event's done, people don't want to go home, so
No,
they just kind of loiter or hang
but that's
around.
London. I genuinely think that's London's fault because they put the cap on so many places. They built a lot of these clubs in residential spaces where it's a 2 a.m. limit.
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly it, and that's what I said earlier about it's kind of just, oh, we found this little spot, we're going to turn it into something.
Mm.
Nah, either build it from the ground up, and I know that's kind of like out there, but or use some of these spaces that we've got a little further out of town where it's like there's the neighbors are like 10 miles away or 5 miles away. Like, they're not going to hear too much problems. Obviously, if you soundproof the spaces as well, make it specifically for that kind of stuff.
But then, which ends are you talking? Are people going to be venturing that far out?
Nah, I mean, there's still spaces within certain parts of, we'll say central, but within,
No, you're right.
London.
You're perfectly right, because a long time ago I did a lot of like research into like empty warehouse spaces or derelict buildings
Mm,
that's in London, and you're right. There's tons, but as I said to you when you were talking before, it's a case of cool. Yeah, that's a great idea. Cool, let's action it. But then will the right people be working it?
what do you mean?
As in, would the people that be running it, are they going to be like shrewd businessmen who only see, oh right, who only see the pound signs rather than like creating something like, for example, the warehouse project.
Mm-hmm,
Warehouse projects initially started for the pure enjoyment of the deep tech house music, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then as it grew and the more people, and it became more monetized, as to say, it became more money driven, and the quality fell off.
But
But that's
yeah,
what I'm saying. To be able to even get those kind of big venues, like what we're trying to talk about, who from the culture, as to say, from the culture or from the right streams, let's say, who's going to be able to invest in that to then bring it to a place where it's very inclusive? Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because if you have somebody like a Stormzy coming on and buying a building and doing that,
But that
that's all
see,
good. But it's going down one channel. We know it's going down one channel.
that brings me on to what I found as well with some of the stuff I was looking at. The industry now kind of relies on big name people.
All the time.
They rely on big name people now to come in, and it's like, especially for DJs, you're at the bottom of the pile because what they're
Yeah.
trying to do is like they're trying to get you to bring in 20 man. So every DJ has to sell
A DJ is a DJ slash promoter. Yeah.
DJ slash promoter. You're bringing. I mean, I get that. You build a little following, you start inviting them to places that you're playing. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like we need to that system does not work for the DJs. It doesn't work for the DJs. So it only works for
The promoters
the
and the venue.
promoter, the promoter in the venue. So the guy in the middle, the DJ, he doesn't really get much
Mm.
unless he's got a huge following. So not every DJ has a huge following.
But the
And
thing is,
especially if
most
you're
DJs
just
don't.
starting out,
Most
especially if
DJs
you're
don't.
just starting out, it's like you might have a couple hundred people. I mean, and if you're lucky, some
Mm.
man they're starting with just their core friends. It's like they've got 50 people, and
Mm.
they're trying to turn that into like a proper audience. So it just limits the amount of people that get into certain positions and can then properly show what they can do. Because nowadays, it's not really about being a very good DJ or being good at performing or whatever. It's about having a following and who you know in the industry.
And it's been like that, unfortunately, for the longest.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is an opportunity for us to just wipe out some of the bullshit.
It is. It's a clean slate.
It's a clean slate. And this is what I was trying to say to my party the other day as well, with in terms of like how big DJs are staying home.
Oh
Bedroom
yeah.
DJs are still staying
No.
home. Nobody's getting, there's no movement. So it's obviously like an opportunity for people to pay attention,
Mm.
and for more people to actually get noticed. Some of the people that
All right. For
maybe
one.
not be um, as good as the others, or, kind of they're getting lost amongst
Mm.
the sea of DJs these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Look, I just got to throw it out there. It might sound like I'm coming from a hateration,
No, you're not. You're not.
but for me nowadays, with everybody saying that they're a DJ, cool, and fair enough. Some people have obviously gone to DJ schools, paid some money, and tried to learn from some other guys that's done it. And cool, hats off to you. But if you can't mix two songs together,
Without pressing the sync button.
I mean, even the sync button, I'm not even a hater on the sync button. I think the sync button,
Bro, come on.
if used correctly, it's a great tool. But if you can't mix two tracks together, then and you're pushing really to say that you're a DJ, I'm like, oh, let's not do that. It's a little bit insulting to the people who have actually put genuine work in. to their craft, and then
It's, it's, it's very insulting. It is very, very insulting. But as you said at the beginning, it's a case of, oh, here we go again. It's a case of, in that case, who is willing to, it's going to sound so deep, who's willing to lick your batty enough of your pals?
look, listen, you know what we got to do as well? We got to get to a position where, look, if your pal's dead, tell your pal he's dead.
But
Okay.
we know how it is. We know how it is in the industry. It's who
encourage
you
your
know.
pal, man.
It's
Don't
who you
encourage
know.
your pal. Listen, encourage him to work harder.
Yeah.
But when he's clanging up the dance and you're standing next to him and you're still
pumping,
yeah, don't do that, man. Like, don't do that. Let's have a look at that and just see where we can.
No, but it comes down to, as I said, who you're pals with. That's all it is. For the longest time, anyway, in the DJ industry, that's what it was. You're right. This is like a leveler. It's like coming and said, "Boom! All right, all you DJs who thought you were big in the industry, now there's no gigs, and maybe you're not putting out as many mixes as you probably did, or people ain't coming to see you. Now what?" So it's almost time for like the real DJs, as to say, to, I think, remake their mark or remark their territory.
I'll tell you what we're gonna have. Yeah, we're gonna have, when the industry starts pushing again and starts pushing forward, what we're gonna have is a lot of guys that are sort of here coming down to this level. So the guys that would maybe not be, they were too busy or too good or whatever to play a Camden or a Shoreditch. Now
come down a couple of notches.
They're gonna come down a couple of notches. What that does to those people that were already there, it pushes them and it disperses them into a different place. I think people just have to be prepared for that until we get back to the level that we were before, because people don't realize how big the industry was, and this is why there were so many people getting onto the government like, yo, like, this is a massive industry.
It's huge.
Give us something, give us some support. But nah, not much support came, and like you said, a lot of venues are just not going to make it out of this situation. They're just going to fall to the wayside, and then that's just going to leave a lot of people, in terms of creatives, whether you're a singer, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just going to be less venues for you to perform at. DJs out there's going to be less venues to perform at if you want to DJ. So it's just going to become a really tight situation.
It's gonna be shit, quite frankly. It's just gonna be shit, and there's no other way to put it. But it's the thing, like, who was I talking to? Gem. Her name's Gemma. Gem Precious, a DJ. I actually want to get her on this because she's actually got really strong opinions on this whole thing and what's happening and stuff like that. She raises a lot of good points with regards to what's not only happening with the creative industry, what's happening to just the music industry in general, because it's not again, obviously, okay, yeah, music artists are creators, cool, but the music industry, like, music transcends so many different things that I think is such a shame that they are literally letting it go by the wayside like it is. People actually need to go out to release some stress from the week or whatever it is by raving, by shaking their leg, by doing something like that, catching a wine. Girls want to do that. Man, don't want to do that.
At different stages of your life, you definitely need to go out somewhere and do something social. Like, being social is part of just being a human being in general anyway.
100%.
And it's like, we were talking about, I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about uni students. You know how uni students, they can't sit still.
Yeah.
If you remember being at uni, mate, I was all going out every
I was out every day.
Every day, if I
especially
could.
in Kingston. Boy.
And there is no parties. No parties for students, like none. So what you find is the students are now on the streets. If you ever go through London late at night, the students are out on the streets.
They're roaming.
Drinking, roaming, driving around on those Santander chunky bikes,
Yeah, it's true. Just doing a nonsense.
doing a madness like at 11 o'clock at night. So
Mm,
it's mad.
it
It's just
is.
crazy.
It is. But again, we've got a government who's in touch, who's out of touch, sorry,
Mm,
with everything that's going on around them.
mm.
It's almost, what do we expect? Although
This, you know
we
what?
can
This is
talk, and we know a majority of us probably voted for a different leadership, which maybe would not have resulted in what's been going on.
no.
But it is what it is for us, and this is the hand that we've been dealt. How do we navigate it now?
Well, this is what I've been trying to find out. It's like what's the next step for a lot of people. I think, yeah, especially if you're a creative in the space, you're singer,
Mm,
whatever you are, you got to keep putting out bits. Instagram's a platform as well, so
mm,
and there's also Twitch, all sorts of different platforms for people
yeah,
to YouTube, all these kind of places. So you got to try and find yourself something on these platforms going along those lines. That's what I would suggest to a lot of people.
yeah.
Just if you're a DJ and you're not DJing right now, you should be either getting your library straight, because I'm telling you, most of us do not have our libraries in
Trash.
good.
Listen,
Like
I will hold my hand up to that all day, every day.
it's
Yeah,
dead,
it is trash. My library is so
right?
trash.
And if you've been a DJ for a while, you could have a
Accumulate
ridiculous
over
amount of
10 years.
music.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is an opportunity to say, you know what, rah, let me dash out some of the, even like, sometimes you get them poorly produced tracks that are just low.
Oh, it's one of those ones. Everybody did the YouTube rip at the beginning, innit? Because nobody
Yeah.
wants to try and. So as you progress in it, and you start to play in better venues, and you start to hear the sound, that's you have to get them out, or you download one of them ones which got a DJ's voice over it, which you never even realized, and you
Yeah.
drop it in the club. Every I think every DJ's had that. You're playing something, you're like, oh, raw! I am not DJ Flames or whatever it is.
It
That's
happened
not
to, I tell
me.
you what, it happened to me early on in my career. Like,
That was us all.
and I just remember saying, you know what, I need to find a solution because I'm not doing that. And then I obviously discovered the DJ pools,
Mm.
and people started sending me music from different places. So then it just worked well for me, man. But yeah, we've seen that. But yeah, like I said, this is the time to just get your library straight, man. Make sure you got,
Something.
or do mixes,
Yeah.
learn
Do
a new skill,
something.
because DJing is overall, as as what do you want to call it? You can't know everything. There's a level that you just, some people just won't get to. Like it just continues to go and go and go, and it just takes a lot of practice.
Excuse me.
Um,
It does, but your repetition has to be to get to those levels. You have to just it's reps. It's reps
mm,
upon reps upon rep.
this is why I want to try and get my decks in my
Loop.
house. I get these decks in this house. I'm laughing.
Oh well, you still got some decks somewhere else though, so it's all right.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Nat, your uni was dangerous. You damn right it was dangerous, man. It was. Where was you, Nat? You was at Brunel, right? Just remind me. Just drop it in the comment, innit? Just let me know where you were. I think it was Brunel, Kingston, um, Hertfordshire,
Yeah,
and
man. Like it,
Greenwich
it
were
was
the
it,
maddest unis.
it was jumping. Like I remember Kingston was jumping. Brunel was
Always,
jumping. Anyone that went
always. Nah,
Brunel,
nah, 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 nah. I'm repping Kingston, bruv. Nah,
Brunel was jumping. Like
nah,
it
nah.
was. It
Now,
was
where did you go
jumping.
uni?
I was in the Midlands when I went to Loughborough. I spent a lot of time in Loughborough.
Oh,
Um,
hold up.
but
Why didn't I bump into you in Loughborough then? Because I was up there a lot.
no, see, I was up there playing sports. I was up there playing sports for a while. So not quite going for the education system, but playing. So I was playing football up there as well. So it was
Mm.
just, yeah, it was a mad one. It was a mad
Bruh,
one.
I never knew you play football.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like flipping. You're the original Dama Traore or something.
yeah. Listen, back in the day, I was decent. Um, back in the day, I was decent. But then, yeah, man, DJing just happened, and DJing became the main focus.
Yeah, I hear that.
After a while, you just realize that you've got more passion for something. Um, what I want to find out is like if anybody this year has properly sat down and rethought their ideas around DJing and why they got into DJing.
Uh, it's a question to pose to the people, with all or two of them that's watching right now. It's probably
Facts.
probably Natty's in it anyway. Natty's he was dropping some comments. who let us know? Natty, let us know if you've ever rethought it. But and Neve, if you're watching as well, Neve was Neve actually helped me a lot. Actually, put me on a lot of bills and egg. But
Yeah.
personally,
I know
my
Neve.
hmm,
I know Neve.
do you?
Yeah, I know
Rotted Neve, you're a bait face, man.
Neve. And Paul.
What's
I know
and
Neve
Paul?
and Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dynamic duo. I love them too. I love
Hard,
them too for
hard,
real.
hard, hard.
For me personally, I haven't rethought DJing as such. There goes my camera. I haven't rethought DJing as such, but as you know, what I'm trying to build with levels,
Yeah.
a DJ in itself has taken a back seat.
Mm,
I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it like how I used to.
mm,
Like proper going out hard and like going to venues and bouncing from venue to venue and doing gigs at stupid times. Like it's more, I actually want to create that. Like I'm trying to allude to what we were talking about earlier. Actually, like we were talking about how it's about creating the spaces which is for the culture effectively, which is it's almost like for the purists.
mm-hmm.
Like,
Now, I'll tell you what, the box parks and a lot of these
mm,
like kind of style, East London's just full of them.
mm-hmm,
Those places, they've got a bit of a vibe. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Especially if we're talking about just for the culture and creating
mm,
spaces,
mm,
not because the whole industry, you can distinguish from some of the bougie events or, and some of the events where people are coming for the music. Do you understand what I'm
mm-hmm,
trying to say? Um, and I think you can definitely build spaces like Box Park, like some of these other, little,
or
the,
incorporating food and stuff like that.
yeah, like
That's what
the,
I'm trying to say. It's like it's just building. You're building like a slightly different bar. It's just got a couple other features to it. It's just building a slightly more relaxed bar.
especially with people being a little bit more relaxed as well. Not everybody wants
Mm.
to get dressed up to go to an event.
Hence levels. Hence levels. The only twist with
I
levels
mean,
is that you just have to come with. You have to come dressed well.
mm,
It kind of. Well, what I'm trying to do with levels anyway is trying to force people to dress well on a regular basis. So then, if you want to go to some place to enjoy some music,
mm,
your swag's going to be on point, and he doesn't kind of bring down the whole nature of the place of the venue.
nah,
So the standards are remaining high, but that's because you've already been dressing well from
mm,
the daytime and want to come in. You know what I'm saying?
mm, mm.
So
I'll tell you what, this is why like a Shoreditch was perfect. You
mm,
understand? Because
mm.
you don't have to get too dressed up. Obviously, look, in
Can
20,
too.
no, but people, the whole fashion thing, fashion is this massive, and I didn't realize how much of a mammoth industry this thing was until maybe
Fashion is stupid, man.
last year. I saw
Mm,
it's insane. It's
mm,
actually insane. So especially now with the type of artists that you've got on in the hip hop, the R&B space, even like the drill artists, they're not really, you can't see a drill man turning up to a venue
you can't.
with some
But
hard shoes on. Like they're
no,
just
you
not,
can't.
they're
Man's
just not gonna
coming
do
in the
that.
latest Balenci's, Gucci's. Now,
Exactly.
however you got the money to buy those, nobody cares. But we're not questioning.
Listen,
But
I'm
we just
not.
know that's happening.
That's not my business. Like all of that is not my business. If you're just coming and you're doing your thing, you're having fun in the events and stuff, yeah, man. Like
Yeah.
boom, whatever. Like I said, regardless of what's going on in your life, you need a moment somewhere to just relax and
Mm,
really just take in,
I don't mind.
yeah, just unwind, man. So yeah, hopefully after this is all kind of passed, and I'm saying I'm looking at maybe about a year. I'm saying about a
Yeah.
year or more.
Yeah.
Then we could probably start pushing towards that.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, me personally, I hope it does come back a bit sooner. I mean, in saying that, I hold some hope because they're trying to get football fans back in stadiums, isn't it?
mm,
So if there's a 4,000 cap on outdoor spaces and 1,000 for indoor spaces, so there is some hope with that kind of information. But to hold a full-fledged festival,
yeah, that's not gonna run.
you don't know. But the thing is, you don't know because
Yeah, but bro,
you could
listen,
you could have a
if
festival
you've
which
been
is
to a
4,000
festival,
people.
you've been to a festival, and I've been to quite a few.
Mm,
Listen, it's not clean. Let's be realistic.
of
It's
course it
not
ain't clean.
clean. Like
Of
any
course it ain't.
festival you've been to, I think the cleanest festival I've been to is last year when I went to Germany. I went to see
Of course, it has to be Germany, man.
yeah, they were on
Guys are
point.
just
And even though there was camping and all
everything,
that kind of stuff going on, it was still kind of for some reason we've got an issue in England
bruv, bruv. Listen,
in terms of just being clean
okay, I'm just gonna say
sometimes.
something. All you 6 people who are watching now, yeah, all you 6 people now. When I DJ'd at the Yacht Week, yeah, I was so glad I did not see an English person. I saw actually tell a lie. In 3 weeks, I saw 2 English people on that party, and it was the best time ever.
Were you talking about English people in terms of like being like
Bro, no,
coming from London
wherever,
or
no, everywhere in England. It's just England, period. Like, I am so sorry to paint so many people with the same brush here, but I've not seen any different. So if anybody wants to let me know any different, please drop something in the
look, I'll
comment
give you
or
an
something.
example of how
We
crazy
just
it is.
mash up everything.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
Everything.
we went to I think this festival in Manchester, waiting to go toilet, and
Mm.
about 4 people pulled out of the same pool just on some joke thing,
But you know what they're doing, man? They got them K's.
like some joke thing. I'm like, hang on a minute, like, oh god, like, what's going on for these people? But when you go to sort of like, and especially how we seem to deal with the environment, we just seem to go crazy.
We don't
We,
care.
we seem to just smash up the environment. Whereas like what I've seen in foreign countries is that they look after stuff. Like everything's kind of chilled,
Mm.
and you've got more freedom in other places. In
Did you
England,
go
like
to
this,
Hideout?
I've never been to Hideout, but I did go to Fresh Island.
Fine, it's in the same place.
Yeah,
So it's in the same place.
yeah.
So imagine you're coming. So you know you have to walk off the beach and you have to walk to the bus station and that
Mm.
there, and you know you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
walk for like you have to go far, and you're literally right next to the sea,
Hmm.
right? Was it the
Hmm.
sea or just no? Because you're
It's like
inland. So the
no,
little reservoir, whatever it is,
it's a
yeah.
sea.
No, it's a reservoir because you're inland. Where that is, that part of what Novalia is called, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
Nirvana,
where it
yeah.
is. Yeah, that little place is it's inland, isn't it? It's not part of the sea. It's literally
Wow.
just like a massive reservoir there. I think. I think. I hope
Jeez,
I'm not wrong.
I thought it was a sea. Yeah, anyway,
Because it
carry
was
on.
massive. But bruv, imagine this. I'll never forget because I was so twist. DJ Easer just finished mashing up, like mash up the thing hard.
Shouts to
Yeah,
EZ, man.
100%.
Jeez.
But and like he just shelled it. He did I call it the sunrise set. It was
Yeah.
like 4 a.m. sunrise. This guy's banging Gabriel, bruv. The feeling was different, bruv. I was twist anyway. Walking
Jumping.
down, yeah, I was walking down, going back. Next thing you know, I see these 4 English brothers, pants down and everything, penises out, just all pissing in the thing. This is a clear blue sea in the day, and I'm just standing there like, see, this is why we have such a bad rep everywhere we go.
Mm,
And the thing is, people only tolerate us because we just shit money.
mm, mm.
They tolerate us because we shit money. If we didn't shit money, bruv, we would have an X next to our name ASAP.
Yeah, man,
ASAP.
it's a problem. For some reason we just can't seem to behave
No, we can't.
properly.
We can't. It's sad. It's sad. Like grown folks, grown
The
people.
thing is, what I hate is that stupid argument that comes with, you know,
Oh god.
when,
We shit money. Hold on, sorry. I don't even mean to be. I'm jumping on just to see what somebody said. Go on.
oh, you know the argument that you get hit with the
Mm,
it's hip hop and R&B that causes the problems sometimes
mm.
in venues, and I've been told, I don't know if you've had it. I've been told in venues you can't play certain music and all that kind of nonsense. That I'm
Bruv,
just
the
like,
urban title when it slaps you, I'm just like, what?
yeah, but what frustrates me is that we both know in the house industry, there's hella drugs getting slapped, like hella
Bruv,
drugs getting
bruv,
slapped.
but you know why they don't care? I swear they must be getting a cut. They must
I
be
don't
getting a cut.
understand what's going on. Like there's always some issue.
Why can't I see the chat?
Anyone
Go.
that's worked sort of in that the urban scene obviously knows the crazy nonsense that comes with it. But you go to a house rave, hundreds of people high on
Everybody's
coke,
K'd up, bro. Everybody,
ketamine,
all of that.
whatever. You know, a bottle of water, like in some of the venues in Ibiza, is like £10, bro. It's ridiculous.
Well, because everybody knows if you pop in some of those, you know, little tablets. You need to hydrate yourself. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Here
nuts.
you
And
go.
listen, that's no disrespect to the house, man. The house scene itself, I love the house scene.
Bruv, I was one of them,
Um,
innit?
like
I was one of them.
I love the house scene. I've been to numerous events, and I love
Mm.
it. I'm gonna continue going to them events because house music is just one of those things.
It's just a vibe.
It's a vibe, right? But they seem to get left alone. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say?
But because two things. If you look on the grand scheme of things, right? And this is why, for me personally, anyway, running level sometimes is so hard. Because the type of music that I play, the urban music, as they want to term it, the hip hop and the R&B, we don't. Oh my god, there goes my thing. We don't spend much money, and that's just as a people. What we do, in fact, when I had remember the Levels Lounge that we did in July,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we did that Levels Lounge, and I got in trouble from the venue because they thought I knew some of the man them that was just standing outside,
Mm.
and they bought a bottle of gin outside Bombay or something like that, yeah. And they're back
Yeah.
in Bombay, right outside the venue. Why would you do that? You're outside a cocktail bar, coming to an event. You think people aren't around there looking, like, and then you're gonna walk into the event, twist. But what our problem is that we don't actually spend money, and now
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. That's no, we spend money, but not how we should, because there's a rule that no, there's a statistic which just came out saying a pound spends less than an hour or something like that, or something stupid like that within the black community. And every other community is proper recycled for a long period of time. So we just don't spend money in the right way, I think, or support the thing. That's just what it is. And we will only support something again if it's like the Gucci level, the Prada level, the Balenciaga level, which again, to some degree, is not a bad thing. But you're supporting somebody that's outside of the people you want to try and support overall. So how does that even work?
See,
But whereas the house industry, predominantly those made created by black folks, is now predominantly followed by a lot of white people, and by a lot of white people are into that scene.
mhm.
They pump millions and millions and millions. Like, look, Carl Cox, yeah, today could drop a tweet saying, "I'm gonna go live in an hour."
It's
Best
on.
believe Carl Cox is still gonna generate about 10k viewers. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
10k viewers, because they're all into that proper techie house, right? And people will just be like, they're gonna call their dealers. They're like, I want this, I want this, I want this,
Get the
and then
plug
boom.
ready.
And then you got platforms like, say, your YouTubes or your Facebooks, or whoever's gonna be streaming it,
Mhm.
they're gonna make money from it because it's all about watch time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whereas, for example, I was watching Jazzy Jeff, my personal all-time. Like, I think the guy is levels. I love Jazzy Jeff.
Mhm.
I'm watching
He's
and Ninth Wonder and Ninth Wonder. These two bad boy DJs. Yeah. Guess how many views they had on their Instagram lives?
Is this early doors? Last lockdown on this one?
Jazzy just been doing it currently, like even just a couple of days ago. Guess how many people have been watching Jazzy Jeff?
I don't know, bro. I've
Bro, it's not even
been
scratching 1,000.
really.
This is Jazzy Jeff. Everybody's all happy to sing.
Yeah, but that's good numbers, though.
All this.
That's good numbers, though. That's good
How?
numbers. Because if
How?
you look, if you got 900 genuine people, that's a lot of people. I
Okay,
think we
bro.
need to
But then
stop
you got
focusing
Tory
on
Lanez.
numbers.
No
I
offense,
mean,
you got Tory Lanez doing hundreds of thousands, yeah, for doing foolish. Like, listen, I watched one of them, one or two of them things. It
but
was hilarious.
it was entertainment. It was
Yeah, it was
entertainment.
hilarious. I get it. I
Right,
get it.
cool.
But what I'm trying to say is, though, the difference is, like, Carl Cox, yes, he's a black man and he's doing the house thing, but they both could have the same amount of followers.
Mm.
Both could have the same amount of followers. You know for a fact Carl Cox is going to get more people watching him than you will have Jazzy Jeff. Although Jazzy Jeff, for me, anyway, is a much more skilled DJ
Mhm.
and has probably so
You
much
know
longer
what?
in the tooth and is much more respected. But hey,
That
I'm probably open Pandora's box, and there's probably a lot of people saying, "What, Carl Cox? No, 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 no."
no. Listen, I tell you what. Cox isn't. He ain't scratching nothing. Like, let's be real. Carl Cox isn't doing any scratching or none of that.
No, he's not.
However, like in terms of what, like,
Season twerking at its finest on Tory Lane's live.
bro, It was wild. Listen, it was too much. You know what? You know what? Did you see the DJ Khaled one where he didn't want it? He didn't want no trouble, and
No, what happened?
the girl just came on
Oh,
his
I heard
live, and
about it. I heard about it.
that
I
was funny.
heard.
That was probably the funniest one.
I heard, and his face just like looked like somebody just slapped his mum or some
It's like,
craziness.
no, no,
Yeah.
look, no, I'm good, I'm good. Now, basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, yeah, for what Carl
Swarm's
Cox
got banned.
is, I
Yeah.
think he's a great DJ. I think he's
Oh yeah. I'm not knocking
great
him at
DJ.
all.
And he's obviously in a totally different genre. People don't respect sometimes the skill that it takes to be a house DJ. You being a DJ, and you probably knowing some house DJs, and they
Bro,
know
I've
how
DJ'd in
it's
both. That's the thing.
like.
Quite heavily in
There's a
both.
lot of skill that comes with being a house DJ, and knowing exactly where you are throughout the night. You know, the right songs.
Facts, J Kid. Sorry. Well, somebody just said Carl Cox just plays tracks. Jazzy is technical.
Jazzy is technical. He's going to use more of the mixer, but Carl Cox, I mean,
Carl Cox is a selector. He's a selector. In the heat of the moment, I think that's what gets people though. Yeah. If you're a good selector,
so okay. So here's a question,
nah,
because
nah,
it's
nah. Your face is gonna get me.
no, 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 no. It's not it's not the same genre of music, but it's a higher BPM than like a hip hop and R&B, depending on what kind of hip hop and R&B you're listening to.
Yeah. Okay.
EZ or Carl Cox?
For me, oh, do you know why that's an unfair question?
Why is that an unfair question?
Because it depends. To me, it depends where you grew up in the world. This is gonna divide opinion. I will all day, hands down, say EZ. I wouldn't even blink. But if you're asking people in mainland Europe, half of them will go, "Who the hell is EZ?" They'll literally go. But for me, EZ, like you see the way it goes, bruv, no matter how many times you will hear that, you will lose your mind.
Yeah.
He could do it for 5 minutes and everybody will still be hanging there.
This guy's got that trigger finger, man. He's got that super trigger finger.
For me, in fact, what a couple of people saying EZ, Jerome and Denzel, EZ. For me, it's EZ, but that's because I'm born here, innit? We're of the garage era. And whoever leaves the garage era, EZ.
I advise everybody to say, look, boom, just go and do some work on Carl Cox and just see some of the things that he's done. I'm talking about this guy was mixing, and if anybody's mixed on vinyl before, you know how delicate the situation is.
And the guy's jumping like he's a big guy.
He's doing like 3 turntables, 4. I'm like, what? Mixing vinyl and mixing like that techno-y, trancey stuff. I'm like, look, even though the BPMs are pretty simple to stay with, like it's still tough to mix 3 tracks at the same time on
Listen, one of those guys, although he's on CDJs, Jerome Kidman, J Kid, although I've never seen you in person do it, I've seen enough videos of you do it. In fact, we DJ'd together, but that was when we was on Housebound and we were just doing the 2-track thing. Listen, J Kid, he will bounce these 3 tracks at the same time, making it look cash. Yeah, and I know vinyls obviously is a lot more delicate, but you emulating that on the CDJs is just as hard because you're riding all those rhythms. And J Kid is more funky soulful house as well, so he's still up there in the BPMs, the 125 plus range.
I'll tell you what, listen, that space is making a little bit of a comeback as well, because
For a funky house,
not quite funky house though. I don't know what you want to call that whole scene. I don't know what you want to call it.
well, the UK funky house,
like the Pioneer and all them kind of man.
Oh yeah, because bruv, Super D just dropped Have you heard Kings and Queens?
But Super D has always been a hard DJ from early.
He has. Although I still am more of a fan of Pioneer personally, because I think
you know what, Pioneer does it effortlessly.
Effortlessly. Because I remember back in like 2007 or something like that, when I was working in Camden, Pioneer, he's probably like the first like funky house, all out funky and soulful house. He had a quad CD thing come out. I think it was actually him, Super D, not cold, maybe Cold Steps
Mm,
and somebody else. Like, but I always knew I was always banging Pioneer CD more. I don't know why,
mm,
but that's when because I think technically all of them are on the same level.
mm.
But this is what I'm talking about where it becomes a selector issue. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And although I love Pioneer, I know
Mm.
more people are going actually to if Pioneer and Super D on the thing. Sorry, Pioneer, they're going more to see Super D.
Super D's a selector there.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm,
And even Kings and Queens, what he just dropped a couple months ago,
mm,
to me epitomizes his ear for that kind of club banger, and he's a selector like that.
mm.
Whereas Pioneer is one of those ones, you know, when you dig in in the crates and you're trying to find those gems, only if you really have the ear for it will you
I think
actually.
I'll tell you what, out of the two, I think Pioneer is probably the better mixer of putting two songs together from what I've heard of them
Who's
both
Emma
live.
Piano? So gone what?
From what I've heard of them both live, I think Pioneer is probably the better mixer as a
Oh yeah,
DJ, blending tracks. But in terms of the selection, I think my man's got it down, man. Like Super
Super,
D's got
yeah,
it
Super
down.
D,
Super
Super
D's
D.
Super D's got it down,
Like,
man. Like seriously. If I tell you what, if I'm going to a house rave
mm.
and them two are there, you know it's you're certain to have a good time.
Oh, 100%.
It's a
100%.
certification, man. It's just like, oh yeah, all right, cool, I'm there. Boom. Good vibes.
Yep.
Because
All day.
you know,
There we are. All day.
are you
But I
back?
mean,
You and this
yeah,
camera,
sorry.
bro. Like you
Do you know what? Do you know what I need to start getting? It's got a half an hour timer built into it, innit? So
mm-hmm.
it clocks out all the time.
Man.
So probably soon enough anyway, because I don't know how long we've been going for. Probably just over an hour. It
Mm,
might even just cut out generally. But what's it called? But going back to that Super D and Pioneer thing, that's where I think a lot of people get it confused, innit? And especially some DJs think they're good DJs, or even their friends think they're good DJs. I'm a piano is a house star playing DJ like South African house. Okay, cool. I never heard of him. Obviously, Black Coffee's Black Coffee's Black Coffee, and no words.
mm.
But that's when the friends gas them in it because they
Wait.
might have been at clubs in it, and they're just picking up not clubs at house parties, and
Mm,
then one of their pals plays 6 songs back to back, and they're all bangers.
mm,
Everybody forgets that's actually very easy to do, even in a club setting.
mm,
The hardest thing to do DJing
mm,
is two things actually. Opening.
mm,
Opening is a skill.
mm.
And
Hey,
keeping the
hey,
crowd.
listen. Opening's underrated.
It's the most underrated.
Opening is underrated for people that a lot of DJs come into the industry and they just think, yeah, you know what, I need to be the Merkers, I need to be that guy. I
Yeah.
would say, as a new DJ, learn how to just be that opening guy because you're going to get further if you're, especially if you're trying to climb the ladder. If you know how to set the night properly,
Mm-hmm.
you're laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're laughing, bro. Like it's mad. But most people stay away from the opening side because they think it's beneath them.
They do, and they think it's who loves opening? Drum Kid. Yeah, bruv. I mean, you're a rare breed. I loved opening because the thing is you set the pace of the night
Set pace.
however you want,
Listen,
whatever you want.
however,
How,
I am.
how do you want?
I'm,
How do you want it? Like you can play. You can set. Like even if you're at a house. Imagine you're at a funky house rave, yeah, and you back like you could shake the main DJs. You play old school R&B, and the
mm,
club is popping. You step off, and then boom, he comes and plays his funky house. He's like, oh, this is dead. I don't want to hear this. As an opening DJ, you don't know actually that you have that much power because you think that's below you. You have
mm.
that much power. You can do what you want.
This is the thing, but I mean, you got to
Do
have
what you want.
those aces up your sleeve and know when to switch it up, man. But um,
That's hard. That's hard for a lot of DJs.
it's a mad one. Something I wanted to quickly touch on because I thought about it. When you said the name Black Coffee,
Mm.
it's crazy for just music in general, and it's, if you're a lover of that kind of music, where he's come from and how
Yeah,
much time
yeah.
it's taken for him to build up, and the place that he's doing it. Because last year he was in Ibiza, and I remember seeing him in
Mm.
Ibiza last year. And I remember looking and just saying, wow, this is black coffee. And it was sold out, bro. Lines,
Mm,
mad,
mm,
craziest event
mm.
going on. Um, and I was just like, bro, it's considering how the music started and everything, to see that in a place like Ibiza was sick. It was sick.
And imagine, because when the Funky House thing popped off here, I know I keep going back to Funky House. Everybody's number one songs was Black Coffee's Superman.
And the
There's
other one
still
as
to
well.
this day.
To this day, that other track that he's got,
Oh,
the one with Boosie.
yeah. Oh, what's it
Yeah,
called?
that track.
Jerome, tell us what the song is. Jerome, I know you know it,
Like,
man.
the house
Jerome
man
knows it.
out there, hit us up with the
Yeah.
tracks, man. That
Oh,
bang.
insane that. Do you know, I was actually gassed. Sorry, sorry to jump in. I was gassed. Ultra Nate, you know
Yeah,
her song "Love's the Only Drug."
yeah.
I posted that. She actually liked it, and she DM'd back.
Is it?
Yeah, I was like, I
Fucking
am
hell.
gassed. Imagine I was like, "Love's the only drug." Then the next thing I know, Ultra Nate liked your thing. I was like, okay, whatever. Ultra Nate sent you a message, huh?
Ah.
I was like, "Love's the only drug." But yeah, Jerome, I know you know the song, man. Tell us what
It's
this
called
song
Turn Me
introduced to you.
On. It's called Turn Me On.
Turn Me On, exactly.
That
But
song
Turn
was
Me On and Superman, boy,
hard.
boy.
It,
Dun, 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 dun. Then you hear the Africa drum. Dun, dun, dun. Bruv, that's when Tribal House was
it was
coming in.
popping, man. It was popping. It was
Coming in.
crazy. The thing is, I think that scene has more of like a vibe. It's got more of a. If you're looking for like that environment where you're trying to go out and
Bro,
just
there's a few.
have a vibe, that scene has a vibe.
But then, okay, is that a vibe for us as black people?
Yeah, I think.
Because of how the sound just resonates with us
Yeah, we.
differently.
That's what I'm saying. We relate to the sound very, very well. So, boy, it's mad. Like, if I heard some drums,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I'm
Yeah.
in. So it's like,
I was actually listening to Funky House the other day. I was listening to Perempe and D.
remember Perempe?
Um,
Oh, wait, man, that Perempe,
Feel It in the
Yo,
Air. But the one that
feel
always
it
flies
in
under the radar for me was Time to Let Go.
Mhm.
Time to Let Go was for me my track. Like everybody's like, oh, what's your favorite Funky House track?
Mm.
Perempe and D, Time to Let Go.
Nah, Marlon, I think it's Marlon D. I think it's something drums or something. I saw it the other day while I was clearing out my library.
Tell a
Right.
lie. That's a lie. It's not Perempe and D. Go on.
Nah,
Yeah, Marlon D. Go on.
bro, this
There's too
dum,
many.
dum, dum. Oh, mate,
There's
it's
too
hard.
many.
It's too hard.
Hey, you know what? You know what? When something opens, yeah, bring your funky house
Bring all your
collection.
funky. Let's
Bring it
go.
all. The tribal. Jerome, I know you're in here. Listen, I'm scared. This guy, I'll be scared. But Jerome, come, let's go in there. Let's do
No,
this
man. Like,
because
push the culture,
boy,
man. Push it all forward. The problem that we've got as well with like in terms of DJs and stuff, it's like there's
I
not
can't
enough.
show these comments though. So go on.
No, there's not enough flipping unity. There's not enough man saying, "Hey, you know what? My man's decent. Like he's
Oh,
all right." Like
I've got
there's
something to
too
say
much of
about that
that.
in a minute.
There's too much of that. I think people are super standoffish when it comes to that kind of shit because I think the industry before the way it was set up, and this is why I said it needs to change.
Mm.
DJs need to kind of come together. It's not. It is, brother. It's competition. Don't get it twisted and come with your A game because it is what it is. But help other man as well. I don't think there's enough help.
Yeah.
So this is enough help
No, make it public.
out there for in terms of DJs helping other DJs. I think
But
friends help friends. You know what I mean?
Nah, they don't. They don't. And I'm gonna get onto this in just a second. When I sort this out. Oh, we've been on for almost an hour dead. In fact, you continue talking to the people because I need to piss, bruv. I'm sorry.
That just left me cold.
I need to piss. No, the thing is, I wish you could even see the comments as well. Fine. Answer this one.
Just do share screen.
What? No, because I'm on my phone, innit? I'm looking at it on my phone. But fine. Answer this one. Jerome says, I feel a lot of people don't understand black coffee. The sound of black coffee. If you play the same tracks coffee plays, you won't get the same reaction from the people. You can divulge in that. I'll be back in a sec. Oh, and on that, he froze. How do you like that? He froze. Look. Mace can hear me. Yeah, he can't hear me. Anyway, so I will answer that. You're right. You're right. Because I think I don't know, like when Coffee plays, he he plays with such an emotion with his tracks, and a lot of people obviously know his story with his one arm and stuff like that. So people try and connect it on a different level to him. So
Why
when they're watching him do his thing, oh, what? Why is this dying out? When they're watching Coffee do his thing, um, it's just such an emotional
why
thing
have you gone
that I think it hits different. Bro, man's jibbing hard. Um, yo, Mace, I think you need to hop back out and hop in, or is it me? Um, but anyways, I hope that answered it. You're right though, Jerome. Like, I mean, I've seen him play loads of times, and it is that
what?
case. And with Coffee, it's a lead up to it. What?
Oh, I said the stream's got connection
Oh, you're back.
issues.
It does as well. Oh, it really does as well.
So what
Hold
did I
on.
miss,
I'm
man?
on.
Like, I feel like I missed a ton.
No. I was just trying. I was just explaining what
Couple
I
of bits.
felt about Jerome's question.
Right. Okay.
Bro,
What
I'm
was the
actually on
question?
some doo doo
When
thing.
when it was
It
happening,
was a statement more than a question.
okay. So what was it? What was it saying?
It says, I feel a lot of people don't understand the sound of Black Coffee. If you play the same tracks as Coffee plays, you won't get the same reactions from the people. I said it's an emotional connection thing where a lot of people somehow feel some kind of connection to this brother when he's playing his songs. I don't know why, or playing whatever set he's playing. And
Bro, I
that
don't know.
resonates with people different, and it just hits different. Some people are just gassed off. Like, you could honestly mimic EZ track for track, and the way he blends things, like the same way, but you wouldn't get the same reaction because you're not EZ. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
This
you continue to divulge. I'll be back in a sec.
to me, man, just left me on my own. You know what? I agree with that. The black coffee thing. He's a different. He's on a different level, and I think people follow him because of that. I certainly can't do what he does, and the fact that he does it with one arm. Jesus Christ, this guy is something else. Shout outs to anyone that's actually been to a black coffee set. You know the levels, man. It's vibes. He's created his own kind of avenue, really. Like black coffee is just, you know what you're getting with black coffee. It's that specific sound, and I don't think anyone else, unless you guys know something, just slap it in the comments. Anyone else that's doing that kind of music the way he's doing it, he's the only person that I know in that space that's doing that kind of music, and does it so well, to the point where you get hundreds and hundreds of people constantly following him and doing bits. It's a mazza. His back. No, his camera's acting up. But yeah, Coffee, definitely one of the best that we've got in that space at the moment. And just going back to the EZ, what's his face, Carl Cox thing. I think they're both really good DJs in their own right, in their own little spaces. But for me, I agree with Sis that because we're UK and we're from the UK, that EZ, even though technically Carl Cox is from the UK as well, I think EZ is just on fire. The guy is a G on those decks, man. He does numbers. I'm sure most of you have probably seen some of his sets as well, and it's just killer. Every time he comes with fire, just pure fire. I don't think there's anyone else out there in the UK that comes with that fire like that on the decks.
Who EZ?
Yeah. I don't think anyone else comes with the energy that he comes with.
No.
It's
They don't at
different.
all. My thing's frozen. Anyways, let's keep talking. I'll sort it out.
I think
Why
you
is
got a
my
little bit of
reception
feedback
on
coming from
red?
your one as well, you know, bro.
Really?
Yeah. There's a little bit of feedback on yours. Maybe because are you watching the live stream at the same time?
Yeah, I am. But if mine's on mute, so it shouldn't.
Mm.
Should draw other apps to enable this feature. What are you talking about, bro? Anyways, how about now? Is it any better?
It's kind of tinny.
Yeah, my thing's gone mad. Hold on. I'm gonna just jump out and jump back in.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
But I think my connection is fast for some reason. I don't even know what's going on.
You're running with some dead connections.
Virgin Media is usually quite good, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
Virgin
You're
Media is usually quite good, so I'm surprised.
saying you slightly got talk.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised though if these man shagged me like that. I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Now, you know they do that with mobiles, innit? Like they do that with mobile phones. Like you
For
don't
the
get
drop off and that.
you don't get the full signal. That's why you end up getting a contract and then you get a dead signal because they've said it like that.
Yep.
You could get, you got to ask them for the best
No,
signal.
you do. That you need to be paying out your ass to really get the decent
You know
connection. I
what?
mean,
I got one of those with Vodafone. It was fine.
did it work well?
Yeah, but the connection is crazy because I always used to get dropouts on like just random places, and now it's kind of decent still.
It's alright, man. But the thing is, like, I mean, they're doing this like 1 gigabyte speed broadband or some stupidness like that.
Who?
So there's some companies who actually claim they can do that, but it's only for like proper inner cities and flats. I don't know how they can even do it. There's a guy I used to know, like he was a tech guy who claimed some madness like that.
Nah, bro.
Hold on. What was you saying, Jerome? Back to what you lot said about support. A lot will support their own, which isn't a bad thing, as everyone will try to push their own platform. But if we collaborate brands on a big scale, then we can win. Of course. Of
That's a
course. No, thank
valid
you.
point.
Thank you actually for bringing me back to that because so recently I did a partnership. I'm not gonna say who it is. So on the Levels platform, I did a partnership with somebody. Like they wanted me to get somebody for them. I did everything I was meant to. The only thing I said to them was just mention us either in the captions or just put us in the tag, right? Did everything I was meant to do, hold up my end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Then when it came to the thing,
Mm.
nothing was done. Right?
What do
Nothing
you
was
mean?
done on their side. Like they didn't put our name in the caption. They didn't do anything like that because I hooked the artist up with some clothing brand to do all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of it, I hooked it all up. Next thing you know, um, what's it called? Nothing. So I said, you know what? It's calm down. I see you for that. That's how you want to move, and that's the level of professionalism that you want to come on. And it's a case of yes, everybody. I want to help build everybody up. That's what I come on. That's my energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they made out the energy to kind of be the same, and they're all for it. Now it's a I help you, you help me kind of thing. I help them, they never help me, which is cool. Like I'm not bitter, but it's what I'm trying to say is our people we don't necessarily support the thing on the scale that we need to. So when it comes to a business side of things,
But I tell you what.
everybody's worried about eating for themselves,
Yeah.
which people can't just pull their ego back for a second and just halt their greed for a second. They can't see that. Okay, I'm out for myself, but if I actually help this person, maybe that person can actually help me achieve more
But
than I even imagined.
when you say help, what do you mean by help? Like be
Not,
specific
not,
in
not.
what you're saying.
It's not help. It's like work. It's like collaborate, proper work together.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
work together and do something. It's like cool. You've got I don't know. You've got a radio station,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've got a TV station,
Right.
right? For example, for example, you know these artists that come through on your radio station and
Hmm.
a TV station, they don't want more clout, but they want to get probably more views and probably bring some people that are more interested, their viewers. They're like,
Hmm.
cool, you have this artist, like, is there anything that you could do? Can you put us in touch and this, that, the other? We'll be like, yeah, cool. The only thing I would say, like, I want in return, there's no money or nothing like that. It's just like promote us on your thing, just mention us or something like that. But
Hmm.
you don't do it. You take the art and you don't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a little scratch of the back. It's just little gestures which are never returned or reciprocated,
Hmm.
and that then leaves bad taste in people's mouths because everybody's going, oh, it's a dog eat dog world and this, that,
Hmm.
the other, which I get. But how we are as a community, what we fail to see is that we actually need to support each other much more than ever for us to get out of whatever pit holes that we're currently in.
Oh yeah, now the pit holes are even bigger.
Exactly, but we're not helping it.
I
We're not
think
helping any of
I've
those things.
seen I think I've seen a change in attitude um, with a lot of people. I think I've seen a change in attitude in a lot of people. There are a lot of the platforms and just people becoming a little bit more friendly
Mm,
because it was quite fierce before. Like, if you don't know someone, people are just kind of
yeah,
it's like a
whatever.
meh. But I think people have become a little bit less like that and could kind of moving towards the let's be a little bit more open and friendly and welcoming with other people that are doing
Mm,
other things. Um, the problem with that is obviously when you got a vision, you're trying to push a vision in a certain way. It's like your baby. So I get where some people are like, I don't really want to.
but then that's where it comes to everybody then establishing what they want. You've
Mhm.
established what you wanted.
So okay, so for you, you're looking at it from the promoter creator standpoint, right?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like the industry itself,
Um, the promoter create. Yeah,
right? So you obviously want to create a platform where a lot of people can win, and
from
that's
me from me personally, like obviously the focus on levels is the fashion and the music artist. that's
mhm,
that's that's the main thing, and as a result it just breeds like an organic situation where people can discover new music, and the people and artists coming up can get recognition in an easier way on a big platform because everybody loves their fashion, everybody loves their music.
mhm.
That's what it's about, really. And
No, no, I
yeah,
see that, but how how kind of how then does that kind of help? You got to explain to the people how does that help others? How do we then incorporate other people into the situation?
what other people, as in the music artists or the fashion brands.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that because people will be watching the music artists on their come up.
Hmm.
People were watching them on their come up. At the same time, in fact, there was a brand that we posted for how you do things, how to execute. Yeah. Um, there was a brand that we posted probably a month before they hit a deal with Kylie Jenner.
Oh, wow.
And so Kylie Jenner was rocking this brand's dress.
Hmm.
I kid you not. Overnight, they went
Hmm.
from 5,000 to 55,000
Oh, wow.
just because of that one simple promo. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Yes, Kylie Jenner is a massive name and everybody knows who she is. But
Hmm.
the point in that was that you had the dress which everybody likes. We actually posted somebody else in that same dress a month before that.
Okay.
Now, if you convert that to doing that with music artists on the come up as well, yes, it might be on a smaller scale, but you still will be reaching audiences who you never reached before.
Right.
So then push that out. Everybody works together in that kind of field. Do you get what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Everybody's scratching
Hmm.
each other's backs. They don't probably can't they might not see it like that, but everybody's scratching each other's backs in that
Yeah.
sense. And that's why everybody can grow and benefit. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
but
trying to create the platform.
that's a great vision, um, and that's fantastic.
But
However, however, but what we've got is I feel like we've got this tug of war where everybody's just maybe not trying to help other people because it takes away from them. So, and I think there's a genuine fear in some people that helping other people is going to take away from whatever their brand is, whatever vision they've got for whatever they're building. So they kind of just they see people flapping sometimes, and they just kind of let them flap instead of maybe reaching out. And that's why we need to create more of like a community feel. There is some of that in the house industry, but from what I know, the house industry is fucking cutthroat, bro. Like it's insane.
It's brutal.
And it's more of who you know. This is why if you're really good at networking, you're probably going to do well. If networking isn't your strong point, I'd probably figure that out.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, that's just how the situation is. It's all well and good us saying that, you know what, we want to help and we will help. In whatever way I could help. Sometimes people hit me in my DMs trying to get bits, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, this is what it is. This is, you know, people ask questions. This is how, you know what I mean?
Just how you did it.
Just hit it. Like, talk to people. Don't be that. Don't be a fucking asshole, bro.
The thing is, Jerome just literally just said that. He said, "Here's the plug. Promote how to do things, how to execute." And then he said, "A lot of people think short term and not long term." Yeah, it's true. Everybody wants to be Usain Bolt. Nobody wants to be Mo Farah. It's true though.
Facts.
It's true though. But although yes, Usain Bolt is a champion in his own right, the race most people want to run is a Mo Farah race. It's not a Usain Bolt race.
Yeah, because realistically, if we can all eat off the industry consistently, then you're doing what you do, like what you love doing, and you're getting paid. That's fantastic. Like not many people can do that. That you're in a very lucky position. So that would be great. So arseholes out there, you know what I mean? Get on board. Let's build the community.
Hey, hold on. Dang, you prick. Excuse me.
Man like Djing. What's good, Djing?
Where's the live stream on Facebook? Dang. You're flipping sharing the thing. What I thought you're meant to be jumping on, man, not sharing the thing.
Where's he sharing it to?
I don't know. I'm not sure how I was meant to connect. I'm here. Hold up. What was that? Dang, I'll send you a link in a second and see if you can jump on for the last part of it. I'm just pissed because my camera ain't working. But let me see if I can add Dang to the stream. No, I don't want that.
Man like Djing, get him in, man. Let's have a conversation. Come, Djing, let's talk.
Jumping in. I forgot what I was saying before though. Where's the live stream? Facebook. I'll send it to you. It's probably gonna echo though if I send it through to you. I've got funky house stuck in my head now for real. Copy link. Mace, I'm just sending you the live link just now. If you want to share it.
Send it to a couple of folks.
Where is Dang Dizzle? Man like Dang London, yeah? I just lost it. There you go. Let's sort this out quickly because I want to continue the convo. Dang, if you're still locked in, which you should be, what's it called? I've just sent you the link, bro, to join. So hopefully they can join in a second, innit? But what's it called? Going back to the convo, my thing's still flipping frozen.
Bro, you just got to. I think you just got to roll with the old camera, man.
I might do until I sort this one out properly. I've lost my train of thought. Where were we? Where were we?
Talking about how we can implement some change, I think, in the industry.
The thing is, it's easier said than done. And I told you this a long time ago. My favorite word this whole year, anyway, has been unity. Unity is the
Mm.
only thing that's really gonna see us out of anything that's happening.
I think it's easier said than done, bro, because
Of
like I
course, it
said,
is.
what's going to happen after this, considering um, how fucked up the industry is going to be in terms of like places to go to
Mm,
see live acts, and it's unless they've had tons and tons of investment, it's going to be steep for a lot of people. And
mm-hmm.
we're talking about the fabrics and the eggs and all this. If we see those places disappear, then boy, um, that means a lot of different things for everybody in the industry. So when the big clubs start falling apart, then what do you think's happened to the
The
little
smaller ones.
bars and all the little, you know what I mean? It's going to be problems, man. So
Mm.
again, it would be nice if we had that unity, but with such a little small space to eat from come 2 years or a year's time, more and more people are just going to be divided. People are not going to, just because everybody wants to eat and everybody wants to do what they love. So we're going to have a problem.
Oh, it's all better now. That's true. That is very true. But just because it's a small space to eat from doesn't mean it's an impossible place to eat
Of
from.
course, it's possible. That's why if like again, what we were talking about, like just changing the rules, like changing the
Mm.
whole thing, like new venues, new
Yep.
types of events, new style events, bro. Like people are gonna have to start thinking out the box because it's not going to be the same thing as we've seen over the last couple
No,
of years.
no. It's all gonna be very different. Very, very different. Yo, thank everybody for the comments though. Appreciate it. Episode 1 is doing alright. I think Deng's clocked off though, to be honest, because I can't see him. But Darren, next time we'll get you on. We'll get you on early. I was gonna send you a link. I'll send you the link now, anyways. But that's a
Mm.
permanent link that you can just always use. So when you watch this back, you'll see. But what's it called? Wow, the time's 11.
Shout out to everybody saying EZ though.
Huh,
Shout out to
bro?
everybody saying EZ though.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
But like, are
it's
we are
easy.
we are we biased though? Are we like
It
UK
is a
biased?
bias. It is a bias
Are we
because we're
UK
garage
biased
heads.
saying EZ is obviously the don out of the two? Like
We're garage
seriously, you see
heads.
that? I think that's a big one because a lot of people would probably disagree with us on the view that Carl Cox is this massive international DJ.
And he is.
But we're not judging him based on what he's achieved in terms of the following, and we're judging him based on his ability as a DJ.
Mm. Yeah.
And I think EZ has more ability as a DJ.
True. True.
You know,
But yeah, it's true. And there's no even an argument to even come back to that with, because for me it's just facts. Like EZ is DJ EZ and that body
you know,
gone.
you know what?
DJ
It gets you
EZ.
every time. You know, when you hear the DJ
Yeah,
E, you're like,
EZ.
yeah, it's like
It's
it's
a rap.
okay.
It's a
It's a
rap.
rap. It's
It's a
you don't
rap.
get many of those people.
Yeah.
Man. You don't get many of those people. So yeah, I think EZ does bits, man. He
It's a
does.
rap. He did his brand justice with that little DJ EZ.
So I think personally, there's a couple of others that are decent, but I think within that space of old school garage, and I think he's definitely the best. I think he's definitely the best out there.
Who can scratch him?
Um,
Even in UK, who can even touch him?
boy, I think I've got his name. There's this white guy. Probably you guys would know. Um, I've got him
What, in
on.
garage?
Yeah, he's okay. He's not. Or you know who is also quite decent. I forgot their name. They're a duo. God.
Black duo.
No, Rossi B and Luca. Rossi B and Luca are
Oh,
decent.
okay, yeah. They're decent.
Rossi B and Luca, if you're looking at old school garage, I
They're
think
decent.
if you're talking about top 5, Rossi B
They'll
and
be there.
Luca,
They'll be there.
EZ's up there, and feel free anyone else that's got another 3 spaces to fill, but I'm only doing the top 2, I think.
Yeah.
But them 2 are definitely up there.
Easy. That's not even a question. That's not even a question.
In that space, them 2 they're quite good. EZ, I think, is head and shoulders over everyone. in that space, but there's others that are decent as well, good DJs. I think without EZ, and this is a crazy statement, but it is. I don't think like old school garage would have.
I would never have this longevity.
No, I don't think it would have traveled. I don't think it would have gone into what it is now. I think he kind of revived it. If I'm being honest, I think he revived himself and he revived those two garage single-handedly.
Do you want to know? I beg to differ, only because my partner's Spanish, like fully fledged Spanish, yeah, and she when some garage pops off in the car, she knows it. That's from the clubs there. Like she wouldn't have heard EZ, she wouldn't have heard none of that stuff at all. So garage travelled. Even Craig David, she's probably singing out Craig David's old tunes like she knows it like the backhand. She loves her reggaeton, she loves her salsa and all of that stuff. But obviously she does love her hip hop and R&B too. But not to that degree that she would be like that well versed in the music that came out from here like that. So garage travelled, believe it or not, like much more than I think Brits care to think.
It did. So when did she come into contact with garage? And if she's Spanish,
I don't know. Check this out though. This wildest story. I went to her when I went to Spain last year, and she just had like a box of like old CDs and tapes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna sound so mad. There was a CD or a tape there which literally said "Black Music 2001, 2002" or something like that. I literally went, what? What's black music? She said, yeah, oh, that's what we say here, hip hop and R&B and this, that, the other. I was like, raw.
Listen, they give it the real. They give it what it is. They give it the real.
She's probably gonna watch this back saying, why are you telling people that? I'm just like, look, it's not. I say, babes, it's not just you that says it. I know other people say it, so it's not just come from you or what the CD was then. It is what it is.
They're not lying. It is black music.
It's black music, but I mean, I think I was talking to somebody a while ago. They said, "What isn't black music?"
That's a sticky one as well. That's a sticky one. There's a lot that isn't, but I'd say in terms of popularity, a lot of the music that we listen to is black music, and it comes from like the black community.
I mean, we set the pace, we set the culture.
Well, yeah.
We do. We set all of that, but again,
this is why, like, I don't believe in all of that culture vulture business. It's like, bro, like, take it as a compliment. Like, these people have recognized that we're doing some good shit.
Yeah, but you got culture vultures, and you got tomfoolery, like what this flipping Jamie Oliver did with the flipping jerk rice. That's tomfoolery. You got.
We don't start that conversation. Listen,
you got culture biting, you got tomfoolery. Like, what is that?
We're going straight back to the music. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Straight back to the music.
Go straight back to
because that's going to open up a can of worms that I'm not doing today. No way. That's a rabbit hole. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. That's a rabbit hole, bro.
Saying that, I think we need to wrap up soon because I need to get to bed because I got work in the morning. But in saying that, my pal Samuel Mead, sorry to out you like that, Samuel Mead, because I think you deserve props. He dropped something in our group. I think it's called Rabbit Hole, actually, and it's a podcast. It's a podcast to do with how people are getting radicalized online via YouTube and stuff like that. Mad interesting, and I think you should give it a listen if you ever when you get an opportunity.
No, forward it to me, man. You know what I mean?
I will do. In fact,
I listen to a lot of podcasts, man, because realistically, at the moment, all I can do is listen to podcasts and get educated. So on different views and stuff. So if there's any good podcasts out there, anyone got any recommendations? Throw them in the comments.
100%.
Anything that you want to listen to.
Rabbit Hole is very interesting, and the whole radicalization. We'll save it for another day. But the radicalization talk is, I mean, we're meant to even talk about flipping racism, but the radicalization talk is something interesting. Like, I'm not gonna profess I know tons about it, but I never forget a conversation I heard on LBC once. about and the level of ignorance some people think radicalization happens on,
Hmm.
and how people get radicalized. And I was just like, what? People really think it happens this way, or people find it impossible to get radicalized online. And I
Mm.
said, then I said to somebody at work the next day following this, I said, I just realized how easy it is to be radicalized. And sometimes being radicalized, yes, it's a mixture of false information
Hmm.
and just like playing on your emotions. But
Hmm.
sometimes it's as simple as you know too much.
Hmm.
And if you know too much, you probably then have a lot more reason to be angry at stuff. And then when you get angry at stuff, you try and then find out
Yeah, but
who is
this
responsible. Then you go
this
down
is
those rabbit holes.
this is the thing though, and it, within the DJ industry or like the music industry in general, whether you're artists or whatever, creatives,
Mm,
if you and you have to, like you should always keep an eye on what's going on around you,
mm,
but don't hate on what's going on around you. And we've got this problem where there's a lot of hate and there's a lot of distance between people, and that's hopefully what Levels as like a platform can do in terms of creating a
mm,
place where everybody just meets, like, and we're cool. Like it's not a stress. Some people are angry because other people are achieving things that they want to achieve, and
mm,
that brings out a level of hate towards that
mm.
person.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
And
The
instead of
envy.
really addressing the issues with themselves and saying, you know what, I need to work harder, or I need to do this, whatever I'm doing isn't working, I've got to go a different way, whatever.
Mm,
Figure it out in your own
in your
little
head.
space. Some people are quick to just hit the next
Slam the
man
other
that's, yeah,
person.
doing well. Oh
Yeah,
mate, we
of course.
we got to stop that. You
Of
know.
course. You can't stop that. It's kind of almost human nature, isn't it?
Mm,
Hold on,
mm.
sorry. I'll miss some of the comments that was said. Sorry. What did Drum say? It's because we as DJ enjoy the technical side of things, and people who just like to listen to music will pick DJs who just brings vibes. Yeah. Again, always
That's
bring
it.
it back to the Super D and Pioneer thing.
I saw that comment. I like that comment. Sick comment, Jerome. That's a really really good comment.
100%.
Um, it's true though.
100%.
It's true though.
It's
Like
true.
as DJs, you're listening to the technical side of things. You
It's
don't. You know
true.
what I mean? It's true.
It's true.
Um,
Ever since I started DJing, I could never go to a club, right?
mm,
And fully just enjoy the night. Because no
mhm.
matter how twist I am, if a DJ clangs,
You wake up.
you wake up. You know, and you just hear it. It's like, what's wagwan?
Skirt.
Yeah, literally, you just wake up. So for the longest time, I haven't just been able just to go get twist and just enjoy a DJ because of that.
Yeah.
That's just in you. But again, as Jerome said, you're trying to listen out for the technical side of things.
So listen, you know what I want to throw out there as a question, and feel free to come back
Bro, Neve's
within a
laughing
certain
at
time.
us.
Um, the top. Now that it's actually been thought of, I've only thought of two people within that old school garage space that I thought, you know what, they're top five. We need to fill another three spaces. So if anyone knows any other another three,
Matt Jam Lamont is a good DJ, to be honest. Although
is
he's
he
four
is
by
he on the same? But is he on this? Because remember, we're looking at this as it from a DJ standpoint. Is he as skillful as the other two?
um to be honest, I've played with him, and no disrespect, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's a good selector, but again, he's more baseline and 4x4 when I've listened to Matt
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time play. Um yeah, to be honest, I couldn't even name you more who were deserving to be in that, because being a garage DJ,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's also like drums, it's vibes. Garage is vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can have a DJ who would play fine. You can have a DJ who'll go from playing Z Bias Neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
Gorillas, what's it called? Clint Eastwood remix.
Yeah, that's hard though. Like,
But that's what I'm trying to say. And then they'll finish off with, say, Gabrielle Sunshine remix.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or you could have a DJ who will play flipping Casey and Jojo Tell Me It's Real,
Mm-hmm.
Flowers. and Shanks and Bigfoot.
Mm.
Yeah, I guarantee you, the DJ who played Flowers, Shanks and Bigfoot, and flipping I've got it. Whatever I just said anyway, they will get much more reception
Yeah,
than the
because
other one because
they're playing the songs that the crowd wants to
everybody.
hear.
But that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is me, or personally, all day, every day, I'm taking Neighborhood, Clint Eastwood, and
Mm.
Gabrielle.
Mm. It's a big mix.
I'm just saying,
Wow.
if they went on a trail, if they went on that, if they played that, you know who people are picking. But again, it's all the vibes that you get and the nostalgic, and I get it, and I get it.
It's a tough one.
But that's when again it goes back to what we were initially saying at the start of the show.
Mm.
It's like it's are you a DJ or are you a selector?
Mm. So with that being
And
said,
selectors win most of the time.
with that being said, let's say top 5 UK sort of like hip hop R&B along them lines. So what would you say?
What, artists or DJs?
DJs. We get to artists in a second.
Oh, this is hard.
And again, you got to judge it not from a vibes point of view. You got to judge it because there's
From
a
a
hell of
skills
a
point
lot.
of view,
There's
yeah.
crazy man out there that bring some vibes. They're not super skillful, but they, their sets still bang.
Yeah.
Right.
Man,
Don't be a hater.
I'm
don't be a
not,
hater.
no, the thing is, I'm not gonna put this in no order, no particular
Look at
order.
it from like a skills point of view.
Yeah, that's what I will do. No particular order, right? And not because you're on here, you're in there. From the people I've played with and seen, you're in there. Yeah.
No, that's a
Next,
compliment, given that the UK is so big.
yeah, bruv. Next is Cable, Chris Cable.
Cable's hard.
What's it called? Living Proof guy. What's his name? Snips.
Right.
Snips is dope.
What else
That's
you got?
3.
You got 2 more. Got 2 more. 2 more to throw in there.
And this is all skills based.
Mm-hmm.
This, in fact, I'm going on a combination. I'm going on a combination. Khalil from Living Proof as well is real good. I like Khalil a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he doesn't get enough respect just because he's just an everywhere type of guy. Apologies, Martin. Martin Smoothie.
Martin's too smooth?
Too smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't get enough respect because he's such a smiley character and he's been here, there.
I think if you've heard him, I mean,
if you pay attention to him, he's good. He's
yeah.
good.
If you hear him in a dance,
yeah,
like you would be like, oh, rah, like don't be fooled. I think he's a good DJ. There's a couple of guys actually, that I think are decent.
Go on, hit me.
Oh man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. It's hard when you think about it. I think I like fuck, I forgot his name. I'm not good with fucking names. He's a Newcastle guy and he's quite sick. I like him a lot.
Newcastle, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't look at it from just a London point of view, man.
I could have looked from the people I've DJ'd with DJ. That's it. So there's no disrespect.
So I've seen Doc Jr. I think he's good. I think he's quite good. So you check out Doc Jr. Doc Jr. is quite good. I think he's decent. He's definitely up there. From who I've played with, I think Max. I've played with Max. Max is good.
With Denim.
Yeah, Max is good. I like Max.
Yeah, he is. But
I've played with Max.
The only reason I didn't say him, I was thinking of him and who's the other one that he was rivaling a while ago. He just fell off now.
What do you mean?
There was 3 DJs. You had Nathan Dorr, you had Max Denham, and there was one other guy from the Midlands. I want to say his name is Chucky, but it's not Chucky. I forgot his name. But these guys were just making waves. In fact, the guy was blowing up so much. He even had an app directly from Mixcloud, innit? So he monetized that. But I just
I know who you're talking about. What's hello, motherfucker?
Yeah,
I know him. I know who you're talking about. He's another guy from the Midlands. I think he's from Birmingham. He's I don't think he's as good as Max, but I think he does the basics very well, and that's the
Mm,
problem. That's what
mm.
people don't realize.
But
It's like
again,
he does the
selector,
basics very well. He's a
selector.
selector. He knows
Yeah.
what to play at the right time. He's sick.
For me, I was
He's
listening to them both at the same time. I was like, why is Max not rated over this guy? I said it all the
because
time.
Max is technical. I think
Exactly.
Max is technical, and because this guy obviously brings that heat. That's what. Listen, that's not. You could do a set, yeah. You could do a set where you're technical, and the other guy comes after you, just plays the bangers. The
Mm,
crowd don't give two shits about your technical skills, bro.
yeah.
Like they just want to hear their song. Like
Yeah.
Betty or whoever she is with her mates, or Tanisha or
Yeah.
whatever, that's rocked into the dance with her friends on a birthday, just want to hear their jam. And
Yeah.
if you're too technical
Oh,
to play their
fucking
jam,
hell.
or you can't squeeze their jam into your technical set,
They'll hate you forever.
they're
Go
not on
on
it.
then, innit?
Whereas, like, my man comes on after you and they've run up to him. Oh yeah, boom, he plays it. Oh, he's the best DJ ever, and it is what it is. Like
Mm,
whether you like it or not,
yeah.
from
And
a
it's true.
crowd standpoint, it is what it
That's
is.
so sad. That's honestly sometimes all it takes. Imagine if you had somebody. Imagine this is a scenario. Imagine you had one dead DJ, yeah, who literally just pressed pause and who pressed stop and play,
Westwood
and
early
then
doors.
yeah, exactly. But then you
Westwood
had,
back in the day. Listen, I
somebody
tell
who
you
had like
what.
10,000 followers who tweeted, "Oh, he played my song. He was this, that, the other." Then you got you who is shelling on a technical difficulty like nobody has seen or even heard,
But listen,
and
like
then
I
they say,
said,
"Nah."
because Westwood, for instance, is a prime example of this.
Hmm,
If you listen to Westwood's set, you will hear him not do the traditional stuff that you associate sometimes with DJing. So he
hmm,
might clang, he might just stop a song and start another one, whatever.
hmm, hmm.
But Westwood brings vibes. If
Yeah,
you
yeah, he does.
say what you want to say about him personally and whatever's going on with him with the raps that are going on with Westwood right now, um, but he brings vibes. If you're ever in a Westwood dance, he brings vibes.
Oh yeah, been to one or two.
So it is what it is. It's just kind of, if you're playing as a DJ to impress DJs, you're not going to get very far.
No, no.
You're not going to get
Yeah.
far. If that's your aim, if you're not going to get far. If
But you
you're
have
playing, if you're
fun.
playing realistically to keep the crowd happy, my aim is keep the crowd happy and throw some technical shit in there if you can.
Mm. Have you ever DJ'd actually and just started a mix, or yeah, it's just transitioning through a mix and you're scratching, or you even done something just simple, just blending the tracks? Have you ever then looked up and you see people pause,
Hmm.
and then you can see in their mind they're just ticking like, why, almost like why they're mixing the song? Can't they just let the song play and press stop?
Some
I
people
see
just
that. I
want
see
that.
that a lot. I see that a lot, and I was just like, "Oh,
Some people
okay."
want that. Unless this is what unless you come in with, depends on how you hit that bad boy, man. Unless you
Mm,
come in with some good, like the transition smooth or something, I don't know. And
yeah.
the last transition drops with something that they know, then
Mm,
you can get away with it. If your
yeah.
transitions consist of songs that they probably won't know, then you probably got some trouble there.
It could be two bait songs, but I think sometimes
But
people's ears just ain't
again, I
trained.
tell you what, yeah, and this probably, will take us on to maybe the next podcast. But a question that I want to throw out there, because this is what drives some people into stop being creative while they're mixing, because they're so fixed on playing the songs that people want to hear,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they stop being creative while they're
100%.
mixing. So it's like,
100%.
oh, fuck, like they move away from the core purpose.
Yeah.
Um, because the aim is also to keep the crowd happy.
But then that's a problem within the industry, because a lot of people then are deliberately dumbing themselves down for this cause.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, bro.
There's no
Um,
win.
there's no win. It's been emotional though, man. I think we've
Indeed.
got through quite a fair bit.
Indeed.
Bless up
Nice.
for the chat, man, and shouts to everybody that got involved. It's
Yeah,
well
man. Big
well
up.
appreciated.
Look, hopefully we'll
Um,
get Deng on next time, innit?
yeah,
Uh,
we got a few things that I'll talk to you offline about. Like I think that we could try and get people involved in.
yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah,
reach
man.
out to reach out to the community, man. It's a conversation at the end of the day.
It is. It is. I mean, to be honest, most of the people that were in it are all people I've DJ'd with. They're all
Mm.
DJs, in fact,
Mm-hmm.
which is great because again, you guys are part of the conversation realistically, and thank you for your contribution. So we'll get at it more. You can't just have what head chefs in the kitchen. No, you can't. You can't. You can't, Jerome. Sorry, I'm just picking up some of the things that people are just saying. But anyways, we'll come back to this, and hopefully we'll get a couple more guests on
Mm.
for the next one. And we'll see. Anyways, bless up, bro,
Yes,
and
bro.
we shall holler.
Yes.
Peace, everybody. Until the next levels. See you later.